All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to the Malapert Smark Podcast. Thank you for listening, whoever is out there, our growing legion of fans. We're up to 240 subscribers on the YouTube. That's crazy. I can't believe it. I never thought we'd reach this point. It's amazing to me. Thank you to anybody who gives any time to us listening. And for wrestling analysis today, I got my two friends, Vlad and Robert. Vlad, while you guys have been out there enjoying your lives, having a good fucking time, I've been here working hard, producing podcast clips. Y rompiendo madres, cabrón.
Say it like Roosh.
Y rompiendo madres, cabrón.
No, you gotta say it with glue in your mouth.
I've been here working hard.
Oh, there we go.
What happened to my spot?
Ask him about the turning the horns.
Oh my god.
I've been here working hard y rompiendo madres, cabrón.
Where's my spot?
My
I have that one too.
moment.
Oh, that's where's my big
I didn't
moment.
sell you a spot, so now I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, man. We deserve this spot, Vlad. The spot where, all the views for all the reviews are going to us now. We deserve this spot. We took it from the other podcasters because
We deserve that. We deserve way more.
Yeah, the other podcasters were fucking lagging it. We're coming in with all those strong reviews. And starting last week, we gave a test run to our new thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down review system, which I think was pretty good for the first episode. So this week, I'm going to launch a new system for this. I'm going to start it starting this week for the whole year. I'm going to add up points for wrestlers. It's kind of weird. You see, I didn't really know how we're going to do this, but we gave thumbs up, thumbs down for angles. So I guess the way I'm going to do it is anyone who was involved in that angle, they're going to get the credit for that thumbs up and thumbs down. Okay? So I guess that's the best way I can think of it. But we're just going to roll with it, and I'm going to have a good time with it. I'm going to see how it progresses throughout the year, and then at the end of the year we can, add it up and see who our year-long leaders are and thumbs up, thumbs down. But I do have a point system, which I texted you guys how it's going to work. It's basically very simple, thumbs up, thumbs down. But we added a little bit of tweaks on there. So it's a little bit like the 5-star system, when you look at it, because, I would say the 2 thumbs up is like 5 stars, right? If you give it 2 thumbs up. And then if you give it 1 thumb up, that's like 4 stars. And then we have the Orange Cassidy half a thumbs up. That's like 3 stars, basically. And then to the side, it wasn't bad. I guess it wasn't good. 2 stars. And then thumbs down, 1 star. And then 2 thumbs down, no stars. I guess you could look at it that way. But
Sure.
anyways.
Why not?
So we're going to roll with that for this show also. So we're going to review some of the angles. We're going to just do 9 of them today. So we can't talk about every single angle. But I did text you guys, every angle there is going on in WWE and AEW. And I got some reviews, some basic thumbs up and thumbs down. So I'm going to post those on our YouTube page and on our TikTok and Instagram this coming week. So the people can get your thoughts on some of these angles that we don't have time to talk about because I only have you guys for like an hour every week and I can't do every single angle. So this is my workaround and the best I could think of to try to get, at least some thoughts for the rest of the show that we don't usually cover. All right. But I am happy to see you guys. Vlad, the wrestling expert, say hello.
It's always good to be here. Hello, everyone.
All right. Robert, also, the Frozen Asian. We had some headset difficulties, so he's usually on his headset, but today he's using his computer microphone, but it still sounds good to me.
Okay. Just in case I sound different, at least now you guys know why.
I kind of like how it sounds. I think you sound more clear, actually. But
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yeah, you sound very clear. No, as long as we get your thoughts on what's going on and what happened in the past week in the world of wrestling, particularly in WWE and AEW, we're happy. So thank you for being on, Robert. We appreciate your time. It's Sunday night here. It's June 16th, so another week of wrestling has passed us by. This week we had Clash at the Castle in Scotland on Saturday, and Raw and SmackDown before that leading up to it. So we're going to talk about those three, and then at the end, when we have time, if we have time, we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite a little bit too. So let's get started, all right? WWE. I'm going to jump to WWE Raw. We're on June 10th. And the angle I want to talk about is the Liv and Dominic Mysterio angle. All right, so we're going to start off our show with that one. Let's go over what happened. So it started off where Liv, I guess, was just sitting where the Judgment Day hang out, right? Judgment Day have like a little room or a corner or something. And Liv Morgan was over there just chilling, looking nice. Dominic Mysterio shows up. Dominic is like, get out of here, you know.
Really, really like to see me too.
I don't want anything to do with that, and I don't want anything to do with you.
Listen, I get it, but...
All right, so he does say, I don't want anything to do with you, but she ends up giving him the room key anyways. And she sticks it into his shirt. Oh, yeah, she does tell him that he shouldn't be with someone who he has to call mommy, but he should be with someone who calls him daddy. So this is starting to get a little X-rated, right, guys? I mean, people say the PG era is over, but this is certainly one sign of this. Liv Morgan is one of the first ones they're unleashing on the people.
Yeah.
Next scene, the rest of Judgment Day and Carlito. I guess he's not in Judgment Day, but he hangs out with them.
Judgment Day with Carlito. That's funny.
So they're talking to Dominic, and Dominic is like, you know, yeah, Liv Morgan gave me the room key, and Carlito's the only one who says that's cool, because that's his catchphrase, right? From back in the day, but the other two are like, no, that's not cool. This is definitely not good. And then they end that scene there.
I hear something about some hotel card business. What's up?
So this is where Damian shows up, and he's saying, what's this I hear about a room key? And then they can't even find the room key. So in this scene, the room key goes missing. That's what happens. And they can't find it, and they got to leave for the match. So they have a match later against Braun Strowman, which Judgment Day have been feuding with Braun Strowman. So there's a six-man tag against Braun Strowman and Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. So I'm going to skip to that. And that's when, here's Rey Mysterio, kind of a continuation of the Rey-Dominic feud. They didn't really get involved with each other too much, but Dominic did get a little drop kick on him there. And then this is where Liv Morgan shows up. All right, so this is the scene. So Liv shows up on the apron, and Dominic leaves the ring to the floor and is yelling at her, telling her to get out. Zelina Vega is on the other side, and she's the one who's going to knock Liv Morgan off the ring and onto Dominic Mysterio. There it is. And she lands right on Dominic. Pat McAfee has the line of the night here.
The hell's going on?
And then Zelina Vega is the buzzkill right there. We covered last week. He's not really doing anything to stop her when she's making these advances, you know? So Vlad says obviously he kind of likes it. And in this case, he's got to go with Liv because he can't go back with Rhea at this point. It's already over. Let me skip through the rest of this match. Hold on one second. So all that commotion does lead to the Braun Strowman team winning and beating Judgment Day on this night. So what happens later in the evening, they do go back to the Judgment Day hanging out in the back again. And Dominic Mysterio does find the room key this time, right? It's in his pocket, or it was in his pants. So Damian just basically told him, look, you got to put your foot down with Liv. Just tell her to stop it. And that's the end of it for this evening. And then they kind of dissipate and talk about other Judgment Day business, because Finn had a match against Drew McIntyre later that had implications for Damian's world title match. But that's basically the end of the angle here for Liv Morgan. And as we said on Sunday night, this was all we have, because nothing happened at the pay-per-view at Clash at the Castle. There was nothing to do with Dominic or Liv. Neither of them were there. Let's get some grades for this angle today. So the angle is Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. Liv Morgan seducing Dominic Mysterio and stealing him away from Rhea Ripley. Start with Vlad. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, I mean, I I think I graded it, but what did I say? Did I say 2 thumbs up? I think I said 2 thumbs up, right? But I think as we're watching this, the acting is not really that great, and it's kind of not really believable. But I'll give it a 1 because it is entertaining, and I've laughed a couple times, especially the room hotel key stuff where they couldn't find it. Where is it? I thought it was pretty funny. It was like, oh, I have it. And he's like, she must have planted it on me. And David was like, that's impossible, bro. What are you talking about? So I thought there was some interesting things here, but overall,
Yeah, it was a little dopey, sure. You're giving it 1 single thumb up, not a 2 thumbs up.
Not completely 2. I'll give it 1 thumb up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Robert, how about you? You got a grade for this angle today?
I'll give it a thumbs up. I mean, I'm used to bad acting in wrestling already, so that didn't really bug me so much. The part of this angle that I didn't really care for much is the part that involves Braun Strowman, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio. They're like, it could have been really anybody that they fought in that match. It didn't really make a difference. So really the highlight of this angle was Liv and Dominic. So because of that, I'll give it just 1 thumb up. I'll say this much. Dominic has a lot more willpower than Ivy.
Yeah,
he's
I agree.
he's trying to toe the line. He's not really running away from her, but he's not really telling her to leave either.
I just want to make one point about one thing that you said about, it's still PG-13, or is it still PG-13? I mean, I think in the Attitude Era, they would have already shown, like, somebody in the hotel or something, like somebody in bed by now, something like that, So I think that's the difference, I would say.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at this image that we're paused on. This is like a rated R image, man. Come on. People know what's going on here.
Sure, of course.
Look at Liv Morgan. They're basically doing it, man.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But yes, I see what you're saying. It's definitely supposed to imply something, obviously, that's definitely not for kids. I'll give you that much. But it's not nowhere near where we were with Attitude, where everybody was, where women were walking around naked practically,
That's true. Yeah, it's not rated R yet, but it is PG-13 kind of. It's not PG. It's like gone 1 step up. At least it's not kiddie stuff, so that's kind of good. All right, well, me too. I'm giving this angle from Monday a thumbs up. So I'm moving on to Braun Breaker's introduction into the main roster angle, as I call it. That's what I still think this is. It's still his intro into the main roster, into Raw, which started with him not getting into the King of the Ring tournament. Adam Pearce didn't put him in. He was protecting him, and then that led to Braun Breaker going crazy and just beating people up, destroying jobbers, sending him to the hospital. Well, let me start with whatever we had for this night, for this angle, because he's facing Ilya Dragunov tonight. So we had a Dragunov promo, like a pre-tape promo, Dragunov trying to psych himself up for this match, that he was going to be the one to break Braun Breaker, this type of stuff. So he's very motivated for this evening. But I'm going to skip to the next scene, and Ricochet's backstage giving Dragunov some support. And I guess there was another pre-tape video package with Braun Breaker, some videos of him being very violent in recent weeks. And I think finally we got to the match. Okay, so here's the match. Here's Braun Breaker coming into the ring, and he's going to face Ilya Dragunov. Here's Dragunov. Here's some action from the match, it was a very competitive match, though. Dragunov definitely got some good offense in. Here's him doing a suplex with holding Braun. I don't know how these guys do that. Chad Gable does that from time to time, where he's just holding someone midair and then they suplex them. I'm very impressed by that. He's a very strong guy, this Dragunov. But here's him coming off the top rope, throwing his whole body. I guess for a little guy, that's a good move to have. High impact offense. Here's some fighting on the announce table. Here's Braun Breaker smashing Dragunov into the ring post. And here's Dragunov getting back into the ring, trying to beat the count. And I think this is the end of the match. It's a spear, and she just pins him right there. That's the 3 count, and he wins the match. And I think he was planning on attacking him post-match, right? Doing another one of his violent post-match beatdowns. Like, he sees him struggling, and he's going to go attack him, and that's when he gets attacked by Ricochet. So Ricochet kind of had a feeling he was going to do this and cut him off at the pass and jump, like, out of the crowd or something and attack Braun Breaker. So that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
And then that's not the end of the angle for the night. So the last thing that happens is a little later on, here's Ricochet trying to help Dragunov to the back because he's struggling to even walk after this terrible fight he had. And Braun Breaker is there to fuck with him, and he's going to spear him through some equipment in the back. And then Ricochet and Braun Breaker get into like a really good backstage brawl into the production area where the trucks are and everything. Here's Ricochet getting thrown into Jimmy Hart's face on the production truck. And I think the end of this segment is he's going to front slam Ricochet onto a windshield of a car. And as Robert said, what did you say about Ricochet here, Robert?
He was crying a river?
I said I think I heard Ricochet cry a river.
Oh my God, Jack Perry here. Yeah, listen to Ricochet gargling blood.
Braun, get it out of here! What are you doing? Ricochet, help!
He can't breathe. All right, and then the final segment is obviously they had to take Ricochet to the hospital, and his wife, the ring announcer, Samantha Irvin, is there. And he gives a thumbs up, but he's struggling. Samantha Irvin wants to go with him, but she has ring announcing duties to do, man. Who's going to do the ring announcing if she goes with her husband to the hospital? So Ricochet gets loaded into the ambulance. All right, let's get some reviews for this angle for this evening. I'll start with Robert this time. Robert, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs up. I think, did I give it? I think I gave it 2 thumbs up. Let me first, before I talk about the angle, let me first say a little something about Dragunov first. I watched a few of his matches when he was still in NXT. Not too many, but they were all great from what I remember. And ever since he came onto the main roster, the run of matches that he's been on, I haven't seen him have one bad match so far. Every time I've seen him, he's been terrific. So good on him. He's very, very talented. Now, okay, so as far as this angle, they're clearly continuing to build Braun Breaker as an absolute beast, monster, and they've been doing a really good job of that. And this latest segment, this latest episode of Raw continued to do that. So I gave it I think I gave it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, on your review that you sent me here, you gave it 2 thumbs up. So Robert gives it 2 thumbs up. All right, Vlad, how about you?
I have to agree. Absolutely, 2 thumbs up. 2.
2 thumbs up, huh? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's been flawless. His almost flawless, I would say. The angle, his build, introducing him, all the stuff they're doing with him, making him look like a ferocious beast of a guy, totally getting him over. This is fantastic work. This is really, really, really good. So there's not really much to say about it. There's not much negative you can say about it as far as I can see. Ilya is going to be fine. I think you mentioned that in one of the weeks that we did the show. Like, it doesn't really matter that he lost to Braun. He's still pretty over, and he's such a great wrestler that it's not going to affect him too negatively. Ricochet, I think I hear, is leaving the company from what I've gathered, but that hasn't been confirmed. But that's what the word on the street is. That could have been his last moment in WWE.
That would have been a great last moment.
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying, and it looks like you would assume based on his wrestling style that he would go to AEW because it's more suited. His style is more suited for that promotion than it is WWE. And I think they sold it so well. Him and especially Samantha Irvin, I think was really realistic, and this is better acting than the stuff with Liv Morgan and Dominic. We talk about bad acting. This was actually way more believable. I know Robert mentioned bad acting goes, hand in hand with wrestling, but not always. Some people are more believable than others. And in this case, I found Samantha Irvin's crying to be more believable than anything Liv Morgan was doing, or Dominic was doing. But either way,
it helps that they're a real couple. I think that plays into it.
Yeah, that's true too. Of course, yes, that's a good, valid point. But overall, 2 thumbs up. Loved everything about this. This was one of my favorite things that happened this whole week.
All right, well, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up too then. 2 thumbs up for me. Yeah, I would have given it 1 thumbs up for just the match with Dragunov and Braun Breaker, but since they had that post-match angle and the backstage thing later on in the night, that pushed it over the edge to me. I thought the post-match stuff with Ricochet and Braun Breaker, the fighting by the production trucks, I'll give that a special shout-out because I thought that looked really good. All right then. So I'm gonna jump to SmackDown. So we move along through this week. We're gonna jump to Friday, June 14th, and I'm gonna cover, I guess, the Logan Paul and LA Knight stuff from that night. So what happened was they showed a video package of Logan Paul at the Tetris Championships. So he was there. He lost, I guess, but he does a lot of things. He boxes. He wrestles, he plays Tetris, he does YouTube. He's a jack of all trades. But he goes home and his servant is there or whatever. I guess that's a man-made or whatever it is. And,
I love that. His servant, come serve me.
What is he? Yeah, he's just a guy who I guess lives there, and he says his guest is here from L.A. And Logan Paul has this look on his face like, what the fuck from L.A.? Who the fuck is that? And I think he suspects what's going on. And then he goes out to the pool, and LA Knight is in the pool just chilling, having a good time.
Hold on, I gotta call. He's not in here. I don't know.
And yes, Logan Paul is obviously horrified that someone's in his house, in his swimming pool, tells him to leave, tells security to come get him out, and then he's fired. He said that's the last job for the security guard because obviously he sucks, but he's fired. And then what does LA Knight say when he's leaving?
Out of my pool? Yeah. All right, I'll see you next week. Yeah.
No.
He's on the phone.
Too far.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go.
Bro, let's go.
You should have gotten here earlier. We had a good old time. All right, yeah, we go. Let me just grab this. I gotta dry off. Get my shoes, all this stuff.
Make yourself at home. I don't know who you think you are.
Dan, I was trying to come down here have a good time, but if you gotten here earlier, we'd have had a great time. But I tell you what, you said the thing about Aladdin. I appreciate that because I can show you the world. And I'll start next week in Chicago. I'll see you there, champ.
Yeah. I'll see you in Chicago, bro.
Yeah, that Aladdin line got to him. He fucking remembered that shit. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna show you the world." Okay, I don't know about that line, and I don't know about this scene. Let's get some thoughts from Vlad first. I'll start with Vlad. What did you think of this scene with LA Knight breaking into Logan Paul's house?
Yeah, I was really fond of it, I have to be honest. But overall, I think I give a thumbs up to the overall feud, or the potential of the feud. So far, there's just been a lot of smack talk where they're not really together. Here, they were kind of brought face to face, basically, but nothing really happened, and it was kind of a dud to me as what they did here. Like, he was in his pool.
Yeah, that was just a funny image of him being in the pool, but nothing happened. There was no fighting or anything.
No, I mean, wouldn't you get into a fight with this guy if he broke into your house and he's in his swimming trunks in your pool?
Yeah, he kind of bitched out, huh? I guess. Okay.
It was very weird. It was not a really interesting. I don't know. It was just, and then it ended very abruptly too. I thought there's something happened, what happened here, or I thought somebody was going to at least go get thrown into the pool, or I thought something was more interesting was going to happen here. So overall, I would say I'm giving a thumbs up to the overall feud and the potential of what they could do, but this scene specifically is not very good.
Well, yeah, you're grading this scene though. So
okay, just this scene. Then I would say thumbs down for the scene.
Thumbs down. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, for the scene.
All right. Not even a thumb to the side, maybe.
No, because I'm not indifferent. Those are the ones I don't care about.
You don't like the scene. You thought they could have done more with this scene.
Absolutely, they could have done more with this scene.
All right. Well, let me get Robert's thoughts next. Robert, how about you?
I'm kind of in the same boat with Vlad as far as the angle I'm a fan of, but as far as this scene, I'd probably give it a thumb to the side, maybe. This is nowhere near as good as when LA Knight invaded DJ Styles' place.
Exactly. That's what I was going to mention after you, Robert. Yes. That was really cool. That was good. That was well done. That was really heated. That was realistic in a way. I mean, I don't know about the cops getting there and all that, but okay, so you're giving this a thumb to the side. I'm going to agree with Robert. I'm going to say thumb to the side. I don't hate it. I'm not going to go all the way thumbs down. I thought it was funny, obviously, him catching him in his pool, and he's just hanging out there, and it's LA Knight in your fucking swimming pool, and he gets up, he has his towel and everything ready. He does leave pretty quickly. The whole thing, I think, is kind of funny. Logan Paul doesn't really want to fight with him, right, on his own premises, so I'm not going to give it a thumbs down, though. But yes, it would have been more interesting if something happened a little more physical, I guess. They could have had a fight.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And then this is the last we've seen of this, too, because this match didn't happen at the pay-per-view. This is just going to be a SmackDown thing. So I guess we'll find out what happens next Friday on SmackDown. right, so next thing we're going to jump to our review of Clash at the Castle. The show started off with a very hot, important match, the undisputed WWE title on the line. Here's AJ Styles. He used his wrestling acumen, his experience to force a rematch here, pulling off the old fake your retirement to fuck with Cody Rhodes' head. Here's Cody Rhodes, and he got into his head, and Cody agreed to the rematch. So here they are, and it's an I Quit match because I guess Cody linked that in his mind, right? He linked AJ quitting to an I Quit match. I guess that kind of made sense. I didn't mind that. I thought that was fine. I usually don't like I Quit matches. I usually think they ask them way too many times, do you quit, do you quit? This one didn't really have that problem. I did have problems with this, but I'll mention them as I go through the match and show some highlights, if you will, and then I'll get some reviews from Vlad and Robert, our expert panel here, and get some thumbs up or thumbs down for this match. But let's see what I have bookmarked. They did fight to the back, and I Quit match with no rules, so yes, no count out. They went to the production area. They went to around the announcer's table. There's AJ throwing Cody into the railing. Oh, here's Cody's mom talking shit to AJ. They're jaw-jacking there. Cody's mom really jaw-jacking at AJ, man. I mean, I think that's where Cody found some time to gig himself, right, Vlad? Obviously, they come back and he's like all bloodied and everything, so he bladed his head, so there he is, got some good juice going. His Cody
not bad.
beating the shit out of him. He was going to pull that same Styles Clash move off the steel steps, but this time Cody reversed it, so I thought that was a good callback. And here's a good exchange where AJ does his combo moves and into a Rhodes disaster kick. Obviously, this is a good match. Obviously, great, fantastic, 5-star workers. So the work was good. There's a fish hook, a move that's even illegal in the UFC. And AJ doing it here in this no rules I Quit match. So he still can't get Cody to quit, whacking him with the kendo stick over and over again. Whipping. How many times has Cody been whipped? I can count 3 now at least. MJF and The Rock, and now AJ Styles. And this is the part where I'm taking points off. You see, not a 5-star match here. What is that? What is he doing with his head? Are you going to choke him out or what? So, I don't know. I think this was the part where AJ could be a little more vicious, trying to get the guy to say, I quit. Like, whipping the guy is not going to make him say, I quit. Come on. But if there's an out for AJ, any type of little out, it's this one where he actually does get Cody to pass out. So Cody loses consciousness. So if it was a regular WWE title match with regular rules, AJ Styles would be the champion right now. But Cody had to say, I quit. Oh, by the way, we had that horrible Cody Rhodes chant. It got originated here in Scotland.
What do you mean horrible? It's stuck in my head. I've been singing it for the past 2 days.
It goes like this: Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes.
It was so loud on SmackDown.
It was even worse on SmackDown. But
it got originated on SmackDown when they had their final face-off. It is funny how AJ brought out the frustration in Cody. But anyways, let me move on with my review of the match here. So AJ had to wake him up. He grabbed a bottle of water and splashed it in his face. And then he grabbed a velvet bag that everyone thought was thumbtacks, I think. That was the first thing I thought of. But no, it was handcuffs.
Even he said that. He's like, I know what you guys are thinking.
He handcuffs Cody's hands behind his back. These handcuffs are like huge. They're not even good handcuffs, honestly. I don't know where AJ got these He didn't come well prepared for this I Quit match. Anyways, continues kendo sticking him, whipping him, and then again goes down to jaw jack with Cody's mother. And I think he sticks his finger in her chest, right? And then this is where fucking Cody's mom slaps him, and then again twice, and the third one. And AJ, you see, I was watching this with my girlfriend on Saturday morning here in LA. And I thought AJ, if he wanted to win this I Quit match, he had to go to that real dark place and get Cody's mom involved. That was the only way he was going to win, but he didn't go that dark, so he couldn't pull this off. He's going to try the steel chair, and then he's going to try the phenomenal forearm with chain wrapped around his forearm, but that's going to lead to Cody throwing a steel chair in his face, and he fell out of the ring. onto a
Through
table,
the table.
and
Yeah.
broke the table. That was a good spot, I gotta admit. That was a tough one for AJ. AJ finds the key to his handcuffs, which were useless for AJ. And he gets him off and hits him with, I think, 3 crossroads. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. And Cody's gonna handcuff him to the ring ropes, and he's gonna fucking annihilate him with this steel chair, which is awful. Just like screaming in pain, like like what did he get himself into? Poor AJ. And then he still doesn't quit. He says, "Screw you, Cody." And then Cody gets the steel steps, throws it into the ring, and like a monster, like the Incredible Hulk, picks it up and threatens AJ with it. And AJ, with his future of his children running through his head, has to quit so he doesn't get murdered. And then Cody does it anyways. AJ quit, and he saw his mom in the crowd, and then he fucking nails AJ with steel steps anyways, even though he quit. So that was fucking sad. I did see some comments throughout the internet saying that this was really sad for AJ. Let's start with Robert this time. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up. So their first match in what was that PLE? I forgot the name of it.
Backlash, I think.
It was Backlash. Okay, their match in Backlash, for me personally, that's an easy contender for a match of the year. So I absolutely loved it. So I was stoked for this. This one had an even better angle going into it than their first match. Their first match didn't really have an angle, but so this was a lot better as far as angle wise. The match itself, I didn't think it was as good as their first match, but I still like this one a lot. So easy thumbs up for me. This was the match I was looking forward to the most out of the entire card. So one of the issues I did have with it was that this was the opening match of the PLE. I'm like, why this one? I don't know. That I would have liked it better if they placed it, a little higher in the card. Also, there's a spot on this match. I don't know if you showed it on the replay, but AJ Styles did a brain buster on Cody on the announcer table. I don't know if you remember that. That spot looked pretty dangerous to me. If I was a professional wrestler, for the most part, I wouldn't trust anyone to do that spot. But maybe if I had to choose like one person to do it, it'd be AJ. Probably the only professional wrestler right now that I could trust to pull it off safely. If it was in the 90s, maybe Bret Hart. Yeah, I think it's this one. And then right there.
Cody, for being the man and being the guy that they really need to be on this show, he does take some dangerous moves sometimes. And he's still showing up every day. He hasn't gotten hurt yet, so fingers crossed, man. I don't know. Be careful. They don't need to be doing that move. I don't know what that move was. Like, I get it. Okay, a brain buster on the announce table. Okay, but I wouldn't have remembered if they did that or if they didn't do that. But anyways, Vlad, let me go to you next. Thumbs up, thumbs down for this match.
Oh, yeah, definitely a thumbs up for the match. I thought it was really good. I pretty much agree with mostly everything that Robert said. It was a great match. It had an angle behind it, unlike the first match, but it probably wasn't as good as an overall match as their first match because of the whole I quit thing and they have to, it's more of a no DQ kind of grudge match type of thing, more than just a regular match. I like a lot of different elements to it, like adding Cody's mom, having her meet there. I like that both guys bled, which I was kind of surprised at because I could have sworn WWE has a no blading policy, I think, right? Or I thought they did. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And obviously they bladed. It wasn't definitely not hard way. So overall, I liked everything about it. I don't know why people, if you said people were saying that it's sad for AJ, I guess they thought that he could maybe win. I don't know how it's sad.
Well, he said I quit, man. It's tough to say I quit. Like, how do you come back from that? Look, I think it's okay because if he puts...
How people traditionally come back from that? They've come back this is not like the first time that's ever happened in the history of wrestling. This is a match that's been going, it must be at least 40, 50 years old, right? They've been doing these type of matches since wrestling was founded. So I'm just saying, he's going to be fine. He was part of a main event, pretty much a main event angle. So I think this is really pretty good spot for AJ. I mean, nobody thought he was going to win the match because of the whole stuff of getting Cody as the champion and the work that it took to get him there. He's not going to lose it right now. I mean, I thought about it myself. I'm like, maybe there could be a way for AJ to win, and then maybe Cody gets it back pretty quickly down the line. But I think this makes the most sense at the end of the day. Overall, I did enjoy this whole thing. I enjoyed it.
They did make mention that AJ had 4 I Quit matches in his career, which was interesting because I think they're taking into account TNA history now in WWE Pantheon, because they also have a working relationship with TNA right now. So that was interesting to me. But yeah, as far as AJ losing clean, from what we hear in the storyline, and, you know, for some reason we all think AJ's kind of getting older and that he's going to retire at some point sometime soon. He's in his 40s. He has a really, not a very high-risk style like he used to have, but he still has, like, aerial moves and takes bumps, and he doesn't want to get hurt and do it into his old age. So, okay, so if he's leaving soon or if he's going to retire within the next few years, okay, so he put Cody Rhodes over. That's fine. Cody is man. If you're going to put anyone over, you can put Cody over because he's going to be the number one guy going forward.
Yeah. As far as to Robert's thing about why it was a number one match, I think it's because of the way they're doing these PLEs where there's only 5 matches, and in this case there were 2 title matches. They wanted one to start and one to end, like 3 matches in between. I don't really have a problem with it. McIntyre was going to be the main event because it was his hometown either way.
Yeah.
So in this case, I'm fine with the placement of the matches.
Okay. I mean, I didn't expect it to be the main event, but I didn't want it to be first either, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do that.
Robert's still getting his coffee when the show starts. He doesn't want it to be like something crazy, you know? He needs to work his way into it. Hey, I kind of like that was first for this occasion, though, because I watched that horrible 2-hour pre-show, and there was nothing there, and the panel was so bad. It was Big E and Kevin Owens and some lady, and I was like,
no. Why would she even bother?
I was just waiting for the show to come on, man, but, you know, it was bad. So anyways, for the match, for the Cody AJ match, I didn't give it 5 stars. I'm not giving it 2 thumbs up, just 1 thumb up. 1 thumbs up. Instead of 2, because I did mention throughout my summary certain things that I was reviewing that I didn't like the handcuffs thing, the weird handcuffs, and or AJ just not really being aggressive enough. I think it could have been a little more realistically done. They could have done a little more to help AJ's character. And if he went to that dark place and was really about to attack Cody's mom, then that would have been like something crazy. That would have been like, oh shit, this is really good wrestling. But nah, they kind of just jaw-jacked and that was it. All right, so stemming from this, I'm going to move on to my next angle, and it just happens right after this match when, if anyone's watching this as a standalone segment of the Bloodline attacking Cody, we just reviewed Cody versus AJ Styles. So this is right after the Cody versus AJ Styles match. Cody's headed to the back. He's holding the title up to the crowd, to the peoples. And this is when Solo Sikoa comes out of nowhere. I don't know if anyone was expecting this. And he comes in and gives AJ a little sarcastic clap. And then they kind of have like a little stare-off. Man, Solo's really good at doing that intense stare-off. And then Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa sneak up from behind and attack Cody. And then they're going to get saved by Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, who are the basic baby faces of this generation of wrestling. So they're just waiting in the back. And they've been beefing it with the Bloodline, so this was an easy thing for them to come out and lend a hand to Cody Rhodes. But the main thing about it is that it continues the Bloodline storyline with Cody. And specifically, I guess, Roman Reigns possibly, or whoever is pulling the strings for the Bloodline, because I think a couple weeks ago we heard Paul Heyman tell Solo that they should be focusing on having Cody Rhodes in check for when Roman comes back. And Solo said, we do got Cody in check, don't worry about it, type of thing. So here we go, and it's came to full force at Clash at the Castle. So let me get some thumbs up, thumbs down for this post-match angle, the Bloodline attacking Cody Rhodes. I'll start with you, Vlad. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, definitely a thumbs up. 100%. I probably would even say 2 thumbs up just because I think it's great. You know, everybody wants to see Cody and the Bloodline stuff still keep going and where it goes. Now with this new Bloodline, it's even more interesting, right? And who's pulling the strings, like you said? Is The Rock coming back soon? Maybe something for SummerSlam. Who knows? Is Roman going to come back? Where does he fall into all of this? A lot of questions. We don't have a lot of answers yet, but the fact that they're beefing and starting something at the end of this PLE means that obviously they have something going forward that they're definitely going with. So very exciting because it should be good. It should be very good. So I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up because I'm a big fan of, obviously, Cody, and I've been a big fan of the new Bloodline under Solo. I think because it was hilarious in his role. I've actually enjoyed it quite well. He's menacing. He's not a big guy, but he is menacing.
Cool. All right, cool. Good review. Robert, how about you? Your turn.
So I just thought of this right now as you brought this angle up. Wasn't it a couple of years ago at the same PLE Clash at the Castle when Roman Reigns had a match with Drew McIntyre and Solo Sikoa? That's when he debuted and interfered.
Correct.
I just thought of that right now, and here's Solo Sikoa again at Clash at this Castle, this time attacking Cody. But anyways,
wow.
Yeah, pretty much agree
Good
with...
Good catch.
I pretty much agree with what Vlad had mentioned. This is a thumbs up for me. This is a continuation of the feud between the Bloodline and Cody Rhodes. I forgot that the Bloodline had no involvement, like no matches for this event. So, but it's good that they still had some sort of involvement in it by attacking Cody. Basically, they're having a feud with the top baby faces, Cody Rhodes, KO, and Randy Orton. Their presence is still something that they have to deal with, right? So I love it. Thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up too. I'm with Vlad. I mean, look at this image that we're stuck on with Cody and Solo staring at each other. Man, yes, this is good. This is really good. I'm waiting to see what happens. And yes, if it's Roman or if it's The Rock, Cody's not done with the Bloodline, and that's cool. That made this segment important and significant. So I'm going to move on from there. I'm going to move on to Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable at Clash at the Castle. Here's Chad Gable coming in with Otis and Maxine. Here's Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion. So Chad Gable, much like AJ Styles, not necessarily exactly the same way, but did kind of force this match with his heel tendencies and his bullying of the Alpha Academy and his dealings with Sami Zayn, and eventually it came to a point where Sami was like, yeah, if you want another title shot, fine, you got it. So here it is. They're doing it at Clash at the Castle in front of this huge Scottish crowd. There's the Intercontinental Championship in all its glory, all its history. Well, here's some of the match. You guys, no pop for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, fine. Just kidding.
The historic Intercontinental. Well, it is historic. It is historic.
Yeah, man. Bret Hart, the Ultimate Warrior. Anyways.
He's savage. Come on, man.
Christian. So here's...
Why didn't you say Jeff Jarrett? He held that EC title. That's your other
true.
guy.
That's true. All right, so let me go over some of this booking, some of the angle. They did have some good in-ring stuff, but I want to go over some of the stuff on the outside. So first off, Gable comes out. He tries to give some instruction to Maxine and Otis because they're supposed to be here to help him, right? So again, and then Sammy goes to Maxine and Otis. He's been trying to talk them out of being on Gable's side, so he goes over there and talks to them too. So trying to conflict them and make them think twice about helping Chad Gable, Sami Zayn is. So let's move on with the match. Okay, so here's Maxine's first opportunity to hit Sammy while the referee's distracted with Gable on the other side, and Maxine pulls back the Intercontinental title. I don't know why she does it like that. The way she flings back, but okay. She didn't do it, and Chad Gable's looking at her like, oh my god, what the fuck? So worthless Maxine Dupree is. She doesn't do it. Chad Gable yells at her, sticks his finger in her face, and this is where finally Otis gets tired of Gable being mean to Maxine, right? The bullying. And Otis, they've teased it before that he was going to stand up to Gable. But in this scene, this is going to get interrupted by Sami Zayn going in with a over-the-top rope flip onto Gable, but Otis saved Gable, threw Gable out of the way, and then Gable gets on the top rope and does a backflip onto both of them. Didn't care that he hit Otis too. So he hit Otis and Sami Zayn. But this doesn't lead to a victory. It's going to lead to more fighting on the outside, actually. Excuse me, hold on. So here's basically the end of the match. This is where the angle starts for the end of the match. So Chad Gable has Sami Zayn in an ankle lock, and then Sami's going to push Gable off of him, and Gable's going to accidentally run into Maxine Dupree, and she already has an injured ankle from the other night when she fell off the ring apron during a scuffle the other night also. And so Otis is really mad at Gable now. And so Gable gets back in the ring to beat the 10 count, to beat the count out. And then Otis is outside with Sami Zayn again. So he has a chance to help Gable. This was a nice image, I thought. This was like a really good shot, like cinematography-wise. This is a really cool shot, I think, of Sami Zayn just like sitting at ringside on the floor, just begging Otis, like, don't do this, you know. He has like the perfect chance to attack him. And basically, he doesn't do it. He sees that Maxine is hurt, and he's just going to go help Maxine and carry her to the back. And so they leave Chad Gable hung out to dry, and he's going to get hit with a haluva kick right then and there as he turns around, and then that's the end of the match. So again, Chad Gable doesn't win the Intercontinental Championship. Oh my god. Tough. So there's the image of Sami Zayn leaving with the title, celebrating, and Chad Gable is just freaking pissed. He's got the most angriest look on his face you could imagine. So there it is. All right, so that's my summary of Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn from Clash at the Castle. Let's get some reviews. I'll start with Vlad, the wrestling expert. Thumbs up, thumbs down for this match.
I would give it a thumbs up. Yeah, it was a thumbs up. But I'm gonna take a couple of points away for it not being, or the reason it's not 2 thumbs up is because Maxine is the worst actress maybe in the history of. Now that's a bad actress. You see, we're talking about bad actors in wrestling. People that don't make it believable. The whole where she was trying to get up and then she fell back down again. Otis, ah! Like, oh my God, stop it! Can we stop using her in these terrible roles? Oh, anyways, I know they want her to do well. Maybe she's a really nice person, but she's just not very believable in this particular role that they're having her play. She's not doing it, and I think I also have a problem with the booking. I think I would have liked to see Chad win as well. Just because I think he's doing really good work. Maybe reward the guy. I mean, maybe they still will, obviously. I don't know how he would get another title shot after this, but he probably will somehow, you know, but I would have given him the I'm thinking, I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't really have the answers, but I'm saying I would have, if I was booking this thing, I would have liked for Chad to win here. And the only way that I wouldn't have done that is if he's going to win at like a bigger pay-per-view like SummerSlam or something like that. But that's fine too, but if that's not the plan, then I would have definitely had him win here. That's all. So that's why it's not a 2-star, or 2 thumbs up for me. Just but 1 because good work by obviously by Sami and Gable.
All right, let me move on then. I'm also a thumbs up. Like you.
Wait, what about Robert? You forgot about Robert?
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, you know what? My bad. Let me start with Robert. Hold on. Let me introduce Robert. All right, Robert.
I'll give
Robert,
it.
what about you? Let's get
I'll
your
give it
take on this.
one thumb up. So it wasn't bad, but I wanted to like this a lot more than I actually did. Uh, so I have problems with the booking too, but not for the same reason that Vlad had an issue with. So it was for me. It wasn't about Chad Gable winning or losing. If you remember from was it last week or 2 weeks ago, one of my complaints about the recent Raw episode was that I felt like this angle was moving a little too slowly. They kept they kept putting Otis in this situation of, is he gonna attack Sami Zayn, or is he finally gonna turn on Chad Gable? And he never seems to pull the trigger on either decision, right?
That's true.
And then they just keep putting him in that same situation over and over and over again, with very little progression. And this felt kind of like more of the same. I mean, there's some progression here, but it's just like, there's not enough of it, right?
Yeah.
So that was my only problem. Like, it was, as far as how this angle progressed, it was just like another episode of Raw. But the match itself was good, so I'll still give it a one thumb up.
Yeah, that's true. Chad Gable, by the way, is an incredible athlete. Just ridiculous. The stuff that he can do is insane. But yeah.
I'm at a thumbs up also. I enjoyed it. I think the stuff on the outside where I was like not sure which way it was going to go with Otis, I kind of like that we don't know if he's going to help either side, and it's always on edge. It always keeps the crowd on edge for what's going to happen. So I did enjoy it. I think it was interesting, but I think it could have been better. And yes, I do think it was time for Gable to win. I think that would have kind of hit more. It seemed. I think that, to me, I kind of had the feeling that that's how it should have gone down. But all right then, thumbs up though. I'm going to move on to the main event of this evening. It was Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title, if you will. They came out with bagpipes for Drew McIntyre in his hometown of Scotland, his home country. So obviously, he got a hero's welcome. This is him showing up with the country's flag. By the way, I watched the pre-show. It did have a good, for that whole 2 hours, the one thing that was good was the history of Drew McIntyre and some indie shows he did in Scotland. So, yeah, that was interesting. I didn't really know it like that. I knew about him going to TNA and kind of making a name for himself there, but I didn't know about the stuff in Scotland. So, I thought that was good. That was actually worth my time out of anything from the pre-show. But here he is, soaking it all in. Everyone's thinking this is his night to finally win the World Heavyweight title and go out on top, right? As the show goes off the air. And he's ready to go. He's like looking like a freaking monster, like a superhero. And here comes Damian Priest with the World Heavyweight title. Also looking pretty good. They face off in the ring. And the referee, there's the World Heavyweight title in all its prestige and glory. So here goes the match. Let's go through some of it. Here's a collar and elbow tie-up, from which I think Drew McIntyre wins this test of strength contest early in the match. But I'm not really going to show most of it. I skipped about 13 minutes. So here's where Drew McIntyre claymores Damian Priest into the guardrail. Here's a South of Heaven by Damian Priest, which leads to a kick out from Drew McIntyre. Here's a Hurricane Rana from Damian, which leads to a Claymore from Damian, and then from Drew McIntyre. And then this is where it kind of looked like Drew could win right there, and Damian did kick out. He had no help, by the way, from Judgment Day. We didn't really cover it, but on Raw, he lost the ability to have any of Judgment Day at ringside when Finn Balor lost to Drew McIntyre. So Damien's out there by himself. Let's see what he's got. So Drew McIntyre shocked. But here's, I think, the end of the match. Here's the booking for the end of the match. Okay. So they were going to squish the referee in the corner, and he jumps out of the ring. And then the ref tries to get back in the ring, and he's on the fucking apron, and he gets thrown off the apron. So the ref is gone. Now he looks fucked up. So they fight in the ring. They continue fighting a little more, but a little bit of an exchange leads to a Claymore from Drew McIntyre. So here's McIntyre running the ropes, Claymore, and he's got the 3 count. So he's calling for a rep. So he's there pinning Damien, and they're going to pan to the ring walk entrance. So a big, long, look at get a load of this camera angle, Vlad. Like, we can't see who this is. They're like, oh, someone's running to the ring. Like, you see like a shadow of someone running to the ring. We don't know who it is. And then we get this camera angle of a referee sliding into the ring. We see only him from behind. They did this so perfectly.
They did.
The crowd can see who it is, though, because they can see the other side. And whoever this referee is counts to 2 and just stops. And Drew McIntyre looks at him, and he's like, what the fuck? And then we see from the other side, the camera shows that it's CM Punk. And he's smiling at Drew McIntyre. It's just, dude, this is as asshole as it gets. He's just blatantly showing him 2 fingers. It was a 2 count. And he's smiling in his face. He didn't finish why is he even there as a referee? What the fuck is this? Anyways, the crowd is going ballistic.
Well, he's not obviously there as a referee. Anyways.
He's not there as a referee. He's wearing a referee shirt.
Yeah, but he's not actually. I mean, I don't think it would have counted if he actually was able to.
All right. Well, hold on.
Anyways, we'll talk about that later.
So Drew McIntyre obviously is going to try to strangle him, and then CM Punk kicks him in the nuts. Low blow. Pie faces him on the floor, and hops out of the ring. And the whole crowd is giving CM Punk the middle finger, specifically one guy who's in the front row right in front of him, giving him the middle finger right to his face, and Punk is just laughing about it. He doesn't care. And there is Damian Priest with one more south of heaven, and that's the end of the match as Damian Priest gets the 3 count. And we'll see some of the audience just miserable, and there's CM Punk celebrating with a section of CM Punk fans in Scotland. Fuck those guys. Those guys should get beaten up on the way out the stadium or something. So that's the end of the show. That's how it goes off the air. And we were talking about this, guys. We had a whole segment where we were like projecting this match. Like, can they really send CM Punk out there to do this in front of all those Scottish people? Do they have the balls to do this? And they did it. So it happened. It was crazy. It was wild. When I saw this, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I did believe it, but my jaw was still dropped to the floor. But anyways, I'm going to start with reviews. Let's start with Robert. The Frozen Nation. Thumbs up, thumbs down for this whole thing. The whole match and the post-match.
Thumbs up overall. I want to first start by talking about Damian Priest first. So overall, as far as the look, the ring work, and his persona, I have no issue with Damian Priest. The only problem, especially now that he's been a champion, is that he's the leader of a really weak stable, or at least a very badly booked one. So that really compromised, how he's viewed, and at least for me, as a legit champion, and that really sucks, right? And the way this match turned out and the way he ended up winning it didn't really do him any favors, even though he ended up the victor, right? Like it does not make his title reign look any better. That's true. My perspective on him as and his championship reign so far. Now, regarding the match and what ended up happening at the end, I thought the match was pretty cool. It was to me, I actually thought it was really good. And then what happened at the end with CM Punk's shenanigans, I can't say I'm surprised. Like I did in the back of my mind have that as like a possibility of that happening, so it wasn't too surprising. Um, I wasn't sure if they would, pull the trigger with the idea of an interference from CM Punk, but hey, this is why we watch wrestling, right? To see what happens, right? It can't be too predictable. So, yeah. So overall, thumbs up for me. I enjoyed it.
Hey, on your text, you sent me 2 thumbs up. So
Yeah.
Are you changing it to 1 thumb up or 2
No,
thumbs
I'll
up?
keep it 2.
All
I'll
right,
keep it 2. I enjoyed the match, and I
all right.
enjoyed.
I got confused. I thought you were changing it to just the thumbs up. Okay, so 2 thumbs up from
I'll keep
Robert
2.
here. All right, let's go with Vlad. Give us your thoughts on this and your review.
Yeah. This was great. I don't know what else to say. This was really good stuff. The match itself was pretty good, I would say. Crowd was electric, obviously, during this match. For most of it, there was a spot that they did. I don't know if that was intentional or accidental, where Damian Priest's foot got stuck in the rope. I don't know how you do that. I don't intentionally, or if that was bad. I don't really understand, because I've never actually seen that spot, that specific spot before. I just thought that was cool if it was a spot, and if it was some sort of botch, then I guess not so good. But either way, good match. The ending obviously was what people are going to be talking about. The CM Punk getting involved, coming in with a referee's shirt. The camera angles I thought were kind of like, right, to keep people that are watching the show from on the TV, not knowing what the hell who that could be.
Oh,
but obviously you knew obviously you knew it was something, because like, why else are they, obviously I knew it was Punk as soon as they showed the back of his head. I'm like, well, this is a no-brainer. But
oh my God, but it's so bad. It's so bad for Drew. That look on Drew's face when he was just looking at it, like, what the fuck? You?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I think it really will take their feud, or should take their feud, to even a higher level. It's gonna create nuclear heat for their feud, which it should. I can't wait to see what happens next with it. So I think Damian Priest is kind of in a sense, he is an afterthought to this angle, in a sense, but it's not really his fault, because the bigger thing is Punk and Drew. That's just the way it is. That's been the angle that people care about in this. Even when, and it would have already been Punk and McIntyre if it wasn't for both, especially Punk being injured, right? They would have probably already had a match by now. But so I think that's unfortunate for Damian, but it's not the end of the world. Like, I don't think it absolutely kills him. I think he still has an opportunity to maybe still be an effective champion. That's to be decided. The thing with McIntyre and Punk is going to be great. I mean, it's been good so far. It's just going to go to a whole new level after this, because this is a great, quote-unquote, screw job, All
right, so 2 thumbs up from Vlad for this segment. All right.
2 thumbs up.
Me too. Sure. 2 thumbs up. When I was watching it, I just, my mouth was hit the floor, man. I mean,
you didn't really. So you.
I know. I expected it, but this was one of those things. This was one of those weird things that even when you expect it to happen, it's still gonna be crazy to see, because it's obviously gonna be happening in Scotland, and CM Punk was not afraid to go there and do that and be the bad guy, and the WWE was too. They weren't afraid to send the fans home unhappy for the greater good of the show and the angle. So. Kudos to them. Yeah, this was great. And I'm sorry for the fans in Scotland that had their one show a year and they didn't get to see Drew McIntyre holding the title, but maybe next year. We'll see.
maybe not. We don't know.
Maybe not. Sometimes in wrestling, things just pass, their moments pass, but I think they do got a moment for Drew McIntyre somewhere down the line. This is still fucking great, though. Even though he's not becoming champion, it's such a good storyline. It's so good. This is a 5-star angle.
I mean, I agree. It might be the best. It might be the best thing going the WWE has. This whole Punk and McIntyre thing. I mean, the feud has been great, and it can only be better after something like this, right? It has to be.
Yeah. Okay. Still a trip seeing CM Punk and WWE to me, I will say. So every time I see him, I'm like, man, I can't believe they got him and AEW lost him. Like, how stupid. But okay. All right. That'll conclude our review of WWE for this week, and our review of Clash at the Castle. We've been here for a while. It's already late. I don't know if you guys want to do the AEW review, or I could just skip it this week. I'll just
it's up to Robert.
I'll just
if Robert says he's got to go, then he's got to go.
I'd rather skip it this week.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll just put your thumbs up, thumbs down somehow, like on a post because the only thing we were going to talk about was Swerve and Ospreay and MJF and Rouge, and it's not that important. We could skip it. We'll pick it up next time. I think we got enough. The WWE reviews are most important for this week. So, all right. Well, let me record just an ending and telling people to subscribe. Then, and we'll let everybody go. All right. Well, it's too late. My guys, they got to go to bed. They got work in the morning, so we couldn't do AEW this week. We're gonna skip it, but it's okay. It's their fault. If they were doing better, maybe we would have forced it somehow. But we're gonna put our reviews up. I got reviews from the angles from this past Dynamite from Vlad and Robert, and I'm gonna post them on our page, on our YouTube page, and you guys will know what they generally thought of the show. But as far as in-depth reviews for the week, we're done. We did a lot of WWE. There's a lot of good WWE stuff. Clash at the Castle was pretty good. You guys have, you want to give some general thoughts about Clash at the Castle, if anyone wants to jump in, if you want to do that now.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I like the format of not many matches, ending in less than 3 hours. I think that's the way a lot of the pay-per-views should be. I'm in favor of that. I'm not in favor of 5-hour pay-per-views like the other company does. I'm in favor of just if 3 hours is the max, really it should be. If you're WrestleMania, you could go 4, maybe 4.5, but a special occasion like that. So overall, there was I do have to mention the thing with Jade real quick. She had a lot of botches. She had a lot of botches in this thing in her match. She says that she's that bitch, but I think she's that botch.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I think she's now become that botch. So I mean, that's her new name. Instead of being that bitch. So
yeah, it's tough. I'm protecting her, but
she had a lot of bad moments in this match. It was not good. Not good. Makes it seem that she's probably not ready completely yet for that big spot because she had some not so good moments. But overall, the show though was pretty good. I liked it. Quick, 5 matches. All of them I kind of had at least paid some attention to and cared about to an extent. So yeah, overall, I would say if you want me to give it a grade, I mean, I could, I guess.
Sure, yeah, for posterity, why not? I always love a review of a show if you've watched it.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I can't give it an A, but I'll probably give it like a B. I'll give it a B. I thought it was a pretty good show.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Robert? Any thoughts you want to give about this PLE before we go off the air today?
Yeah, I like it. I'll probably give it a B also. It wasn't too long. Plus, also, it didn't start too early. I think there are some other PLEs that happened before in Europe that started earlier, if I remember correctly.
Like 9 a.m. or something.
Yeah, 9 or 10. This one didn't start until 11, so that helped actually.
Yeah.
So,
Pacific time for any of you out there. We're on the West Coast of America, so I don't know where any of our listeners are, but yes.
So for me, that was a plus that it didn't start too early. Plus, it wasn't too long, and overall great. So I'll give it a B.
Yeah, it was 3 hours of solid wrestling because I don't think there was even anything on the pre-show. Like I watched the pre-show, but there was
I didn't watch the pre-show.
No matches.
But there were no matches.
It was just a collection of whatever preview videos and such. But yeah, good show. I'll stick with you guys. I'll say B. A B is a solid grade in the wrestling world. It wasn't anything too crazy. But yeah, the ending, the CM Punk stuff was fire. That was fire to me. But yeah, good show overall. The AJ Cody stuff I think could have been maybe better to me, but the Drew Damian stuff I think delivered. So there you go. All right then, so that's it. Our show for this week. We're at 240 subscribers. If you enjoy us or you want some reviews in the future, we're going to try to start reviewing all the angles somehow. At least get a thumbs up, thumbs down from our esteemed panel. Maybe I'll just text them or get an email from them if we don't actually cover it on the show or on the podcast this week. So subscribe to our channel. You'll get our posts and our video posts and our whatever you call them. What do you call them? Like text posts or whatever it's called. What are those things called?
What are the text? What program?
You guys don't see when I post like text stuff on YouTube? Like I'll just write a message. Like you guys don't get those?
Like those notifications of like
Yeah. Not an actual video, but like a message, right? I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know what the official term is.
I think they're just called posts. YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Posts. So subscribe so you'll get our YouTube posts and follow us on social media. We're growing on TikTok too. So keep an eye on us and come back to our page. We're posting videos all the time, nonstop. So thank you guys for joining us today, Vlad and Robert. I appreciate you guys as always. Without
Anytime,
you guys, there is no show. And keep rompiendo madres, cabrón. Thank you.
Okay, Roosh.
All right, guys. Good night. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Take care.
All right, later.